This Photoshop plugin automates bulk mockup image creation in Photoshop. So here in progress in Photoshop is a currently running automated operation. This is a Photoshop plugin called Batch Replace Smart Objects, and what it's doing is it's creating a bunch of mockup images for me automatically inside of Photoshop. There's a link in the description if you want to check this out and get it added to Photoshop. And really the way it works, just a really quick high-level overview, is for each one of the PSD or PSB mockup files in your selected folder, it'll loop through all of your artwork or design images, and it's going to replace the selected smart object inside of the mockup scene with each of these images here, and then it's simply going to export the final created mockup images to your designated output folder. There's various settings you can tweak in terms of the placement rule you want it to follow, and in terms of, the resizing that it does. You can also customize the export file type if you want to preserve transparency or layering, and you can also modulate the image quality in terms of whether there's compression, if you want smaller file sizes, or if you want really high quality images. You can basically just quickly set up your operations, customize whatever you want, click run this now, and this plugin automates all this boring work for you inside of Photoshop, completely automated. So the plugin just finished up the operation that I had running. Let's go ahead and pop over and refresh this output folder here, and let's take a look at the results. So as you can see, it did all of this automatically for us, and if you're creating lots of mockups, whether you're doing designs for clothing or apparel, whether you're doing something for, canvas wall art for an e-commerce store, really whatever your mockup creation workflow is, it's a very flexible plugin with different placement rules and resize settings and configurations you can tweak based upon whatever your requirements are, and it really makes it a breeze to just come inside of Photoshop, click a few things, set up your operation, and automate the bulk creation of all your required mockup images. You can imagine if we're doing this for an e-commerce store, if I need to make maybe 10 different product images for each of the artwork designs, coming in one by one, adding my images to Photoshop, replacing the smart objects, exporting and naming the final created images. It's a lot of really boring, tedious, repetitive work, and using this Photoshop plugin, you can just completely automate this with just a few quick, simple setup steps. So for this particular operation, I was using a folder of canvas wall art mockups. I had 9 different PSD files inside of here. I had 4 of the product images corresponding to the different variants, and then I just had 5 different room mockups that I was using. For the artwork images, I had these 12 designs here. This was just a quick little demo that I set up for the sake of the demonstration. And then I had the final mockup images folder where it just exported everything to using the selected file type. So you can select from a lot of different options here. I just chose JPEG for this operation. You can also customize the image save quality. So if you want to have really high quality images, you can increase this, but if you want to apply compression so that your file sizes are smaller for faster load times on your websites and so forth, you can decrease this based upon your preferences. There's a lot of supported options here at the time of this recording. You can do PNG if you want to preserve the transparency. You can do stuff like PSD or PSB if you want to preserve the layering in the scene, and other different various options including PDF or TIFF or WebP. So really it's just a couple quick, simple setup steps where you just come here, set up your operation, click run this now, and this plugin will automate all this boring work for you. In terms of the placement and resize rules, so there's 4 main different options. So you can just place the original image inside of the scene. You can stretch the images to fit the smart objects. So in that particular case, what would happen is there will be some stretching or distortion that might take place, but as long as your images are sized pretty similarly, this can make it so that you basically just create perfect looking mockups every single time if you want to just fill the canvas area. Alternatively, you can use the contain inside smart object option. Now this is one that's really good for something like clothing mockups. Maybe you're doing logo mockups or apparel where you might not want any sort of stretching or distortion to take place. And so what it'll do is it'll just adhere to whatever placement rule you select. So you could do something like contain inside smart object. You can configure the vertical and horizontal alignment rules. If you want to push everything to the top, then you can select that top center rule. If you want to just center everything, you can just go center center. It's really just based on your preferences and what you want your final mockups to look like. You could even do weird stuff, bottom center, bottom left, really whatever works best for your particular workflow, requirements, and mockups. The fourth option is fill smart object and crop. Again, here you can control the placement and alignment using both the vertical and horizontal setting. So this is another one where if you don't want any sort of stretching or distortion and you want to, retain the aspect ratio of your original images, this is one where it'll just sort of blow it up to where the full smart object area gets covered by the image without doing the sort of stretching that happens under this setting here. So this might be another common one used for print on demand workflows. If you have, a designated print area and you always know that you just sort of center your images by default. Really, it's quite a flexible plugin, and with these different options here, I mean, you can basically support any type of mockup, really any mockup creation workflow that you have in mind. Some additional stuff worth explaining about this plugin and some questions you might have are, how does it know which smart objects to operate on? So if you're using just a really simple scene like the ones I used in this initial demonstration, and there's just one smart object in the entire document, the plugin will just automatically perform the replacement operation on whatever smart object is in there. If it's something more complicated like this one, where maybe there's one smart object here, another smart object here, some of the files you'll download online, they're just super complicated. There's all sorts of different groups and settings and stuff like that. In these particular situations, you want to make sure your target smart object layer is selected or highlighted in the layer stack. And then that way, when the plugin runs the operation, it knows, cool, this is the particular smart object that they want us to perform the mockup creation for. If you're using this plugin for the first time with a new mockup that you're not quite familiar with, what I would recommend is doing a test replacement operation or just updating the smart object with a sort of placeholder image. Because for this particular one, if you highlight it, it looks like, okay, this is the smart object area. But if you double click it and step into it, it's actually a bigger rectangle inside of the scene. Now, if you're using a setting like fill smart object and crop, or contain inside smart object, where maybe you're pushing the images to the top, then this could actually cause some issues where your created mockups may not be ideal. You could just do something simple like this, solid color, just push a sort of generic placeholder image inside of there, and then when you save this, and then we come back here, and this gives us a feel for what is the actual smart object area that we're working with here. Now, this allows you to basically see, okay, what are the images inside of my input folder that I'm working with here? So for this particular logo design workflow, what I had set up here were images of different configurations. Some of them were very horizontally stretched. Some of them were a lot more vertical. So if we're using a horizontal image like this, for example, and we perform the replacement operation to contain inside the smart object, if you're using this particular setting, it might push it all the way to the top. If you're using bottom center, it might push it all the way to the bottom here. So that's where this sort of just fill it with a placeholder image can sort of help you figure out how to create optimal mockups for the specific files you're working with. Once everything is set up the way you want it, however, let's say, we're using these mockups. These are the artwork images we want to use. This is the placement rule and resize setting, and this is the folder I want to export to. Instead of just coming here and setting this up each time you need to create your mockups, you can just save the operation. So you can just say, make my canvas art mockups, save the operation, and then you can just come over to this batches tab here. And once you're here in the batches tab, you can just search by name if you want to. You can just scroll through, find all of them, make my canvas art mockups, it shows up here, and then you can just click run batch and it'll run the operation using all of the settings that you set up earlier. So the folder of mockups to use, the folder of input images to use, the placement option, the export settings, all of the settings that you had set up in this top section here get saved, and you can just come here when it's time to make your mockups, find what you need, click a button, and it'll just pull all these settings and run the specified operation. You can also set up multi-step workflows. If your workflow is more complicated, you can just create a new workflow, blah, 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 give it a name, and then just give it a step 1, which will be whatever settings you have up here, give it a step 2, step 3, and so forth for however many steps you have in your workflow. So one that I had saved, for example, create all wall art mockups. So step 1, if you're running an e-commerce store, maybe you're creating canvas wall art mockups. Cool, it'll perform this whole operation using all of these settings. Then it'll move on to step 2, perhaps you're creating poster wall art mockups for the same store. Again, it'll automate this process using all of your setup steps here. Step 3, step 4, however many steps you have in your saved workflow, you just come here, find the workflow that you're looking for, click run workflow, and it'll just execute this entire automated operation and create all your mockups on autopilot for you. This really allows you to just push the time savings to the absolute maximum, because if you always have, a sort of standardized workflow where, these are always the mockups we use on our e-commerce store to create our product images, if you always don't dump your new images inside of a set folder. If you're always exporting in the same sort of file type, maybe your website always does WebP and you know what sort of compression you want to apply. You know how you want the files to be named in terms of maybe front load the artwork file name, followed by the PSD file name. It's really just sort of a one-time setup task of just figuring out like, okay, what are the particular settings I want to configure inside of this plugin? How can I get the mockup set up correctly and make sure the, final created images are exactly what I want? Once everything is set up and working the way you want it to, it's really just stupidly simple. You just come here inside of Photoshop, open up the workflows tab, find the operation you want to run, and you just click one button and it just does all this for you. Some of the other useful features and questions you might have. So the plugin does accept a wide variety of artwork image file types in the input folder. So it's not just like you can only use one style of image or whatever. It's very flexible in terms of what it accepts. If you're just doing plain artwork images like this, cool, the plugin can work with those. If you're doing what I showed earlier, like for the logo mockups where maybe there's transparency you need preserved, cool, no problem. The plugin will indeed preserve that transparency in your final mockups. So for something like this where you want to drop transparent text inside of the scene to create a sort of logo mockup, you can feed those images to the plugin and it'll retain and preserve the transparency in the final exported mockup images. You can even use PSD or PSB file types. Like if you have, complex layered compositions you want to use, then no problem. You can even just have entire PSD files inside of here in the artwork folder. And if you want to just point to your original PSD files without, having to export them as an intermediate file, I have to export to JPEG first, and then I can use them for the plugin. Instead, you can just point to your original PSD files and, whatever layering is in there, it'll preserve that, no problem. Or if you work in Illustrator or with vector file types, you can use the AI file type, EPS, SVG, really pretty much whatever you need for your particular workflow. So I want to show you quickly some of the other placement rules. So I'm going to use this contain inside the smart object setting in case you still have questions about this or how it works. We're just going to use one particular mockup for this demonstration. So here, there's this little arrow here. We're going to flip over to just point to one particular Photoshop document. And I'm going to select this one here that we're using. Now that that's selected, I'm going to go ahead and select my folder of the logo designs I had created from earlier. And if I open this up, once again, you see all of them have the transparency that we'll want to preserve for the final images. These are just sort of some generic ones I created, ABC company, the cool company, XYZ company, stuff like that. And this is a pretty big ass file that I downloaded online, so this one might run a little slower. But let's go ahead and execute this operation. We're going to click run this now, and it looks like this operation is finished up. So we'll talk about a couple quick things here. Number one is, what is this green abomination inside of here? So one thing the plugin will do is if you're using some of the settings that cause different sized images to get placed in the smart object, what it does is at the end of the operation, it'll just sort of revert the mockup back to its original state. So this just does one last sort of replacement operation using an image of the exact size and aspect ratio and dimensions of the original image, and this pretty much just sort of resets it so you can just resume using this mockup without any unexpected changes. Because if you put like a really horizontal image inside of there or a really vertical one, then that could carry over to the smart object and cause some problems to your workflow. And so this just has a nice clean reset for your mockup basically. So let's take a look at the final exported images using this fill smart object and crop option set to center alignment. This is a configuration that works really good for this particular type of workflow with different sized images, lots of variants in the folder. All of the final results end up looking pretty good. Whether it's the really horizontal images, whether it's the really vertical ones, it doesn't really matter because using this particular setting, it just created good looking mockups to where the images just got positioned accordingly inside of the smart object. The other setting, fill smart object and crop. Now this one wouldn't really make sense for this particular type of workflow because then you're just going to blow up a logo to be way too big, and that's going to look stupid. This one is much more practical for something like a wall art design workflow where maybe instead of exactly stretching to fit the smart object, maybe realistically on your print on demand store, you instead just sort of blow the images up to cover the full print area, but you don't actually like exactly resize them. This is where the fill smart object and crop setting can come into play. And so I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration, an example of how that works. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up an operation where we're just going to use images that vary in terms of their aspect ratio. So we're going to do some 3x4 images, we're going to do some 2x3 images, and then we're going to do some 4x5 images as well. We'll go ahead and paste these in here, and we're going to go ahead and run this. We're going to do fill smart object and crop with the center alignment, and we'll just see what it produces for us. So let's take a look at the results here. As you can see, it basically just sort of like chops away the excess image content. So looking at this one, for example, you can see like this little tuft of cloud right here, and then the dock here. If we go over to the original image and compare, there was actually a lot more of the cloud in the original image. This was the final result. This was the original image. So it basically just sort of allows you to just like crop and chop away the excess image content while still adhering to whatever placement rule that you selected here. So this is pretty realistic for a lot of, print on demand sort of workflows, where inside of the actual print on demand interface, you're going to do something functionally similar where you just sort of blow the image up, cover up the space, and functionally speaking, the excess just gets chopped away. So that's a pretty useful setting for a lot of different print on demand workflows. This one here as well, 4x5 photography image. This was the original image. You can just compare these trees on the right to see how far the original image extends. And then if you look at the final result, you can see there's just a little bit of tree there. The original image had a lot more. So again, what it did, it just sort of blew the image up to where the whole smart object area is filled, but it just chopped away whatever excess image content there was. It's a very flexible plugin, and a lot of these features are the direct result of user feedback, where people said you could add this would be helpful. And we really just took a lot of that feedback from all sorts of different graphic designers and photographers and print on demand sellers. And we've really just pushed to make it as useful as possible for the widest diversity of design workflows. There's a link in the description if you want to get this plugin added to Photoshop. It's a tremendous time saver for any designer who works inside of Photoshop and spends a lot of time manually creating mockups one by one. Instead, you can just set up your operations. You can automate the creation of all your required mockups with just a few quick, simple setup steps. If there's any questions that weren't answered in this video, feel free to drop them in the comments below and we will try to get back to you. Thank you guys for watching, and see you later.